Are you the one standing between yourself and the relationship you deserve? Let's expose the truth and set you free. Hi, I am Phyllis Y. Whitley, and this is Self-Sabotage Exposed. Yes, I'm going to go over five powerful strategies to break free. First of all, I asked the question, are you? Are you the one that had self-sabotage your relationship? If so, we're going to learn some things today. I'm going to get right into it, okay? Self-sabotage, what is it, you might ask? It can block your journey. It can block your destination, the way that you're trying to go. It can block you in relationships. It can block you in career goals, things that you do to yourself. It's time that we heal that particular broken whisper, because that particular broken whisper can help you step into your promised land with career, love, and anything in your life. First of all, the first one is reprogramming your inner whispers. And those of you who are new to this channel, think of inner whispers as your inner thoughts, inner conversation, inner talk. What happens when you reprogram your inner whisper, you literally want to assume the feelings of the relationship you desire. I know that's kind of off, but how do you do that when you have never really been in a good relationship? So I would look at someone around me, a role model. You don't necessarily have to look at Hollywood, because one minute they together, next minute they not. But if you have an aunt or even your mother, your parents, your mother and father, you can go ahead and just imitate or remember, or walk through the park. You can see people just holding hands. What do you want? Are you the touchy-feely type? And if you probably not, but if so, is it someone who respects her husband? Like if you have a friend, do they respect them? Like, you got to go, it's dinner time. Vice versa, is it someone that respects their wife, where she may say, oh, you won't believe what he bought me today. So you want to go ahead and feel that and act as though it's already happening to you. Now, I don't want you to do this in front of people. This is something that you do with yourself. Okay. And I have helped a few. I think I have to this date about 5 people I counseled. And they all of them have got married, except one I didn't counsel. It was a friend's sister. With that being said, they had to, I feel they had to recognize it. They had to know what a good relationship is, first of all. So once you do that, the second one is you want to heal through assumptions. You want to know that your inner belief, inner thoughts, inner whispers is what shapes your reality. For instance, I know I had dealt with someone who was so angry at men because she had a specific person in her life that abused her. And what happened was she thought everybody was abusing her. Y'all know how it is when you turn around and Lou Joe Big Joe come into your life, and Randy, the one who verbally abuse you, or verbally abuse you, or maybe physically abuse you. And you know what you do? As soon as they say something, you like, what do you, what? Your defense mechanism go up. Oh, it's one of those things when you had, a man, let's look at a man, can have a woman who had actually emasculated him, cheated on him. And he literally, as soon as she say, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it tonight," he become a detective. I know I'm talking to somebody in here. I know some of y'all said, "Well, and I like to call it, you literally brought the baggage of your last relationship, or the hurtful relationship, into your next relationship. So what do? You self-sabotage it before it can even go farther. Before the other person can say, you know what, it's over, you say it's over. Because you don't want to endure that pain of rejection. So it's easier for you to say, well, I'm gonna reject him, especially if you see something going on that you are that reminds you of the last person, of what maybe your ex have done to you. Now, the third one, you have to awaken to your higher self, which means, let me just break that down. Your highest self is just like when God told the Israelites to go and spy out the promised land. They seen themselves as ants, which means they seen themselves as smaller than them. How would I say? You might be in a relationship and you feel like, I'm not good enough for this person because this person might carry degrees, th- and you don't have nothing but a GED. I'm not good enough. See, these are whispers. Somebody might have said that to you when you was growing up. Maybe you wanted to go to college and you did not go to college. You didn't make it, or you had to quit. So in your mind, you don't feel that you can stand up to that person who might have a degree. So your highest self is who you feel that you always wanted to be. You know what? You remember they said fake it till you make it. You know the person that you knew in school and they wear a little old suit and you laughed at? And then you learn maybe on social media, you know what? Is that so and so? And he is literally a banker now with his suits that look like he paid money. Well, he faked it till he made it. Mhm. And so that's an example. I have many, many more examples, but basically, you're not perpetrating, you're not, some people might say that, but you're not perpetrating. What you're doing is you're trying to get in the mood. You're trying to convince yourself. Your whispers change because you're no longer saying, "Oh, I have just a GED." You literally are walking around and you're gonna say, "But I specialize in this, that, and that, so I qualify to be an entrepreneur, a successful businessman or woman. I qualify. I qualify to get some water." Excuse me. With that being said, you walk like you know. You walk like you already in your promised land. And for those of you who don't know me, listen, I always say the word promised land is really your destiny. It's your calling. I don't want you to get some people who is very religious, and I'm not talking about anybody who have a relationship with Christ. I myself consider spiritual. I have a relationship with Christ. Many masters of people can say, "Oh, I have a relationship with Christ, but a lot of them don't know it. You can go to church 7 days a week and still don't know him. You have a relationship with the pastor, not God. So when you have a relationship with God, okay, you won't know how he see you, because when he sent the Israelites up to spy, he really wanted to see what they was going to call it. So it's like you. What are you going to name your child when your child is born? What are you going to name that situation that knocks at your door or come into your life? Are you going to call it hell? Oh, I'm going through hell. And you know what I don't like? And I don't even want to say religious, because I've seen pastors do this. Oh my goodness, the devil is busy today. Where is the devil? When you woke up, with the devil hanging on the edge of your bed? I want some of y'all to think about what you say. The devil's not going to do this today. The devil? Now I know it's a Lucifer in the Bible, but this is what I want you to first come out of that thinking, thinking. Because what you're doing is you are blaming it on something outside of you that you really can't even see at all. Yes, 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 I am still here. This is self-sabotage exposed. And we're going to unplug this. Now, for some of y'all, when you have a relationship with God, each and every step of your conversation and your prayer with him, not begging, he's going to reveal who you are. Go into the manuscript and listen, read, or you can listen to Audible, the Bible. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You have no excuse. You won't know who you truly are until you go to the manuscript. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm going to go to number 4. Before I go to number 4, let me go ahead and give you a scripture. Proverbs 26:11. Yes, Proverbs 26:11. I'm reading this from the NIV. As a dog return to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. Other words, they repeat their mistakes. They literally repeat destructive patterns. You get a job, and then you just, start going in there late. And that could just be a whisper what somebody said to you. You will never be nobody. And you just automatically, you just like, just go. You just go into this thing where I just gotta, I'm just gonna go late. I'm just gonna go late. And then they turn around and fire you. They was wrong. They was wrong. Sometimes you want to go ahead and you want to hurt the manager. You want to hurt the people, the co-workers, because you chose to do what you did, and it's self-sabotage. Yes, you did it. I understand the whispers. Okay. I understand some of you want to say it was he and it was she and they. People are going to be who they are. And if they are an ass, I'm going to say that. If they are not right in your life, then you need to keep moving. But what happened when it's people that you love? What happens with somebody that you gave your heart to? Just like I said in the career part, you post that fake it till you make it. But meanwhile, do something. Go out there and get that specialization. Hey, I know what I'm talking about because I had a GED. Yes, I have. I know how it is. You got a GED? You mean to tell me you got a GED? I know people who had sons and daughters And they said, they got left back so many times. They said, I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna let them go. They gotta get that, they have to get that particular high school degree. I am not here saying you do not have to have a high school diploma, but you have options out there. So don't go running around and tell your mother, Miss P said GED, I'm leaving. No, I had a plan. And I was in New York where they had all kind of schools and specializations and colleges, so I could do that. You in the rural area, they might not have no kind of school that you can go and replace that GED or schools that give you your GED. So I had a plan, although I was young and ignorant. But I am happy to say, only for a moment, the GED was my whisper. Because later on, I said, let me get my associate, check. Let me get my bachelor, check. Let me get my master's. Yes, I went from GED to master's degree. That's why I'm here right now. This is why I'm talking to you right now, because I have experience. I actually listed credentials of there. So what I'm telling you is I faked it to a man. And what happens is you start pulling in. You know how they say you attract. You pull it in from the inside. You start pulling the right people that say, girl, do you know you can go to that school over there and they're going to give you your degree, but they're going to give you your GED first? Oh my goodness. It is ways that you could do it. Other words, what I'm saying is when you awaken your higher self, all the things that you need will come together. You would meet the right person, divine connection. God will just send them all to you. When you wake up that morning, everything is lined up to come talk with you. That's what I'm talking about, being blessed. Now, 4, you manifest your promised land. And the reason why I say that, I'll go into it briefly. Your promised land is totally different. So this is than other people. It's totally different from your neighbors. It's different from your siblings and even your best friends. So don't become a copycat. You have to become a creator. In your mind, you might love a different way, but you want to go into the I'm gonna say it, fantasy. You know how you back in the days you like somebody, you just fantasize. You want to go into that imagination state. And Neville Goddard literally can tell you about imagination. I say imagination is I am, but that's everything that you see in I am or imagination is inside you. So you have to go within yourself, daydream. Don't daydream of your. Let's stop. I'm getting ready to unplug something right here. Ladies, that does not mean you're supposed to daydream of your baby husband. Men, you do not supposed to daydream off of your man, fiance. You just don't do it. Why? Because you are putting yourself in a position where that's probably all you're gonna meet. I can't, I just don't understand why I meet all these married men. Maybe because you daydreaming about one. I'm gonna let you free. I'm gonna set you free. I'm gonna set you free. But did you see what that scripture said? The dog returns to its own vomit. Some of you repeat history. You get fired from this job, fired from that job. You don't do anything. You just sit there and let those whispers, those thoughts, those words that were said to you growing up, even as an adult, you still being bullied. So your promised land could be different from mine. I may want, s- one person may want that love where you travel all over the world together. What are you bringing to the table? Do you just want a man to bring money enough to travel? But what about you? What do you want to do? You have to bring something, bring your education and skills that you can literally say, hey, wait a minute, let's go over here to this place. Let's move over here and you can get a job and I can get a job. Do you understand what I'm saying? With that being said, your promised land is going to be different from mine, from whatever. So you have to become creative. Your what you see, how you see and perceive love, it should be positive. One of the things you can do is look at the way God loved mankind. He gave his only begotten son. That's love. And yes, that can be among human beings. Not that you want somebody to kill for you, but you want somebody to literally love you so much. Beautiful. But what are you doing back? It cannot be one sided. It can't. So now you know about your promised land. It's going to be different. What you think about love, let it be correct. Let it be love and love. Have a mentor. Watch someone that's getting good love, that they not harming each other. Nothing that's one sided, okay? Non-abusive. It didn't say, hey, I believe in that type of love and I can do it because you're only going to get what you believe. Well, Miss P, I just don't believe in all of the lovey-dovey stuff and whatever. I mean, I just, I that's fine. You might not want all of that. That still would be your promised land. That y'all come together. And some people just like, hey, I just want a partner. We both living here, and especially with the economy today, it's some people I have heard say, hey, you got something to bring to the table. I got something to bring to the table. We good together. So however your promised land looks to you. Number 5, align with the spirit of fulfillment. What do that mean? Your whispers you can't see. Your thoughts you can't see. Because it's an invisible part that people don't tell you. Maybe your pastor tell you. You are human, but you also have a spirit. You can't see the spirit. And I'm not talking about, I always say hocus pocus. The invisible, unseen side of you. Remember, God said you should worship me in spirit and truth because God is a spirit. You don't see him. You have a spiritual side. This is the side that you actually feed. Okay, I have in one of my books, Spiritology. You actually feed it, I call it soul food. And that's really feeding your spirit. Hey, if it don't sound correct to you, hey, you know how to feed in your flesh. This is why people running rapid. This is why people go from disease to disease to disease. They run from woman to man to woman to man, and then some of them run to man, 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 and woman. I'm keeping it unplugged. Satisfying their flesh because they don't even know that they have a spirit. So you have to align with this spiritual part of you, the spiritual self of you, because that spiritual self is where those hidden whispers and thoughts lie, and you got to pluck out. Like you have to prune them. Yes. You have to pluck them out. Now, I got a bonus for y'all. But before I give you that bonus, I'm going to say this. You always heard people say, oh, I have the faith, I have the faith. You can't see faith. So that's another way you can say, hey, this is aligning with my spirit. But I'm going to give you a bonus. Number 6. Yes, those of you who say, hey, wait a minute, this is good. This is good. I want to stop right now and say, however you are listening to me or watching me, what social media, I want you to stop what you're doing and subscribe. Can you do me that favor? Because I don't know who you know. So subscribe if you want to hear more of this. If you learning something, if you feel you're not learning a goddamn thing, I can't do anything but say thank you for coming by. Like, give me a comment on how you sabotage your life in career, relationship, friendship. I encourage you to do that. Now I'm going to give you that bonus. That extra bonus number 6 is take actions from within your mind. You can't see your mind. You can't see your mind. I'm telling you, your mindset. Take action. Reverse your conversation and your talk. Reverse your whisper. My business is based on that. Revising your whisper. It would change your whole world. How? When you start a conversation with people that's supposed to be in your area, your arena, friends, co-workers, and you say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going back to get my bachelor's. You can't do that. Really? How old are you? You gotta be kidding. You playing, right? You joking, right? You know, yeah, I know y'all heard that. I know y'all heard that. Really? Well, I'm thinking about getting a degree in engineering. You gotta be kidding. Do you know how many people look like you in that? Nobody. I want to be a athlete. Your son may say this for the men out there. I want to be an athlete. I want to be a quarterback. A quarterback. Really? Number one, how tall are you? All of those whispers, they just pop. All those seeds, they just drop in your ear gate. They just drop it in your ear gate. Hmm. And then you go forth and you go to work and somebody else say it. And you say, boy, my parents used to laugh at me because they say you're too short. But that did not stop some of the ones that's out there right now. Baker Mayfield. Oh my God. Who is the other one? And then listen, I'm a football fanatic. That did stop. What is the name? Let me see if Priscilla know. What is the name of the one that played for the Arizona Cardinals? And they said that, they short. Russell Wilson. Oh, Kyler Murray. Yes, yes, yes. Quarterbacks. They didn't stop it. I remember when Kyler Murray was on a sports show before he came out to the NFL and he was leaving college and they were saying, what you gonna do? And he had a choice. He actually played for, you know, baseball. So he had a choice in his career. He turned around and he said, oh, I'm gonna play. And they said, well, what do you think of people saying your size is too small? He stood right there and so I'm gonna play. I'm going to the NFL. He act like he didn't even hear the question. So what I'm saying to you is those whispers can follow you and then it literally can come back up when you're around people when you become older. You say, oh, you know what? I remember that being said to me, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going because you got to take action. How do you do it? I can. You can't. I can. That's what you got to start doing. I will. I am. That's right. I remember when they told me, I was telling somebody not too long ago, I remember walking away from school in New York and New York City, and they said, what would you become? I mean, do you know? Because one of I think the guidance counselor took me back in the room and said, what would you be. She was trying to let me know that statistics rise. There was people out there go straight into a gang and go get into drugs. But I had a plan. And I had registered in a school, specialized school for accounting. With that being said, when she was telling me that, I said, watch me. Then we went back to the school, but they might see who knows, they might see my book. And, I don't even think I have my book here, but they might see my book. Oh, listen, it's up there. They might see a book. Look, Phyllis Y. Whitley. At the time, I was a Daniel. So, with that being said, you want to build daily habits that reflects the love and the success that you want. My house always smell good. Make your house smell good. I mean, I think that's romantic. I don't care if I'm by myself. I romance me. Have a conversation. Yes, have a conversation. Well, did it work with you? I'll let you know that in time to come. But it worked with the people that I have coached and mentored. Yes, it worked with them. It's a season for everything. And these are little things that I tell them, build the habit that reflects even success. Have your closet organized. Have all of your clothes. I don't know. This is a different generation, but have it nice and neat. Clothes that you're getting ready to wear at that corporate job. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to be working at your house, let me tell you something. Years before I even knew I was going to get into my own business, I recall having company and my friends came up and they said, "What's that in the corner?" I had a little corner with one of them TV dinner tables and I had a computer. And I got the computer from the, what do you call it? I got the computer from the elderly senior citizen because my mother was going to the senior citizen center and she said, they giving away computers. But I knew about computers because I went and took up, that was some of the skills I took up. I knew about the first Wayne and all of that computer. With that being said, she gave it to me and I had this big old computer. She said, you want to come, the guy giving it free. I had this big old computer and it didn't go as far because I didn't have at that time Word. I don't think that even what was it? Oh, Word and Excel and all of that. I don't think that existed at the time, but whatever it was that they had, I just was able to get on the computer, type a little bit. It was limited, okay? But you know what I did? I put that computer sitting there and I had everything setting up nice. And people, when they come to my house, they said, "Oh, you know about computers, huh?" And I was like, "Uh-huh, yeah." They didn't know that computer didn't really work, but I left it there because you know what? I faced it till I made. I was taking it. And now I work with desktop. Listen, I do everything. But also I took action. I went and went into every school I can find that specialized in stuff until I actually was ready to go ahead and get my degree. Now, I have some questions that I'm going to answer from some of my team members. And first, I am going to answer these questions, but I want you to understand something. I gave you 6, but it's 5 powerful strategies that I gave you to break free. I want you to remember that everything that you do at this point in life, I want you to do this. I want you to take a moment and repeat after me. I no longer self-sabotage my life. I release all negative whispers, thoughts, and words that was spilled until me, that was said until me, that was lied into me. I receive my highest self so I can manifest my promised land that God ordained to me. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God, in me, because I am now able to break free. Give yourself a hand. And you know what happens with that? I know some of y'all said, well, what's going on? I got tongue tied there. Unto. I get these Invisaligns, and I know y'all have to forgive me. But you know what? Give yourself a hand. If you have to go ahead and repeat so you can get that information. So I know y'all have questions out there, but let me go ahead and get some of the good questions out here. Number one, why do people unconsciously sabotage a good relationship? Oh, oh my goodness. I don't know. Can I unplug here? Because some of them just don't know. If you don't know that chocolate ice cream has several flavors, you'll keep going to the store saying chocolate ice cream, chocolate ice cream, chocolate ice cream. And they have chocolate ice cream and cookies. What's that in dough? I don't even know what cookies and cream, peanut butter chocolate, vanilla chocolate. Other words, what I'm saying, if you don't know, my people should perish, lack of knowledge. If you don't know what's out there, you're just gonna go with the flow. Let me go with the hood. Let me go with the neighborhood. So, other words, you better get a role model because unconsciously, because you don't know, you are going to fear. You only basing it on because somebody treated your mother bad. So you got fear. Past wounds, you was cheated on. All of a sudden, you just freeze when they say something that remind you of the other person. And you're feeling unworthy. Suppose you just don't know your worth. Listen, y'all, you cannot know your worth until you get that manuscript open and know who God. I say this time and time again. If you know who God said you are, if you have people around you, including your parents, who don't think that you are anything, you're going to say, well, that's all right because I know God. God said I'm this. God said I am listed. I'm a tree planted by the river of water. But your leaf shall not wither. God said, I am the head and not the tail. Okay, y'all. I'm not going to go into a sermon, but you understand, you have to know. I recommend you listen, go into Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, to tell you some stuff. With that being said, the worst scenario is when you don't feel worthy. If you don't feel worthy of yourself, I don't care how much money you got on you. And you sometimes, let me tell you, let me unplug this for you. Sometimes the people with the most expensive purse, most expensive clothes, put it on, even with a zillion tattoos. And I have nothing against tattoos because, honey, I got one right here. Let me say, I don't want to show y'all. Listen, I want to sit up there and show y'all. And Miss P need to get back up. I exercise every day. But with that being said, I have my tattoos. But some people cover up their face and all parts of their body. You can't even see them. And sometimes I wonder how they gonna look when they get 70. Some of them is 60, much less 80. But that's might be their promised land. They may say, I love it. I love it. I love it. But let me tell you something. I always feel people write on their body what they have not expressed to the world. So a lot of tattoos are a way, is another way I feel of saying, hey, I can't express myself. So I'm going to write it so you can see it. Yeah. You have to make sure, because they got some nice tattoos out there, make sure that it's not because you feel unworthy. If your purse is more than your paycheck, something is wrong with that. Some people want that attention. I'm gonna put on the shortest mini skirt I can. They want that attention because underneath they don't feel that they can catch any man with casual clothes. Or the man want to have the best car, the Mercedes Benz, and he works in McDonald's. And let me tell you something, you can work in McDonald's, you could be a franchise, unless he one of the franchise owner. Listen, y'all, he can do it. So don't knock. I'm not gonna knock the fast food store because last time I looked, I always tell people to I don't got no job. I can't find no job. Listen, McDonald's is open 24 hours, so I don't want to use that one. That's not a good one. But let me say, if you were a servant at McDonald's, if you are, I would say a teacher who I had that my daughter was a teacher who really, my God, they do not pay them well. And this is not to knock them, but for the government and the state to start paying them. But you driving the Mercedes Benz because you want the kids to say, "Oh my God, Mr. So and so, oh my God, Mister, look what you got on," or you want that man to stand back and say, "Wow," and you know good well your salary is not equal to that car. You might have a self-worth problem. The second question, how can someone recognize if they are self-sabotaging their life? Well, when you doubt everything, good question. Everything is a doubt. I don't think I can do that. When you repeat those whispers that were said to you, your last boyfriend might have hit you because you stood up for yourself. So you have doubt. I'm not gonna get up and say to him, so I'm gonna let him do anything he wants. I have known females, friends who said, I'm not leaving him. I'm not gonna leave him. He's treating me bad, but I'm not gonna go leave him. I don't want to be alone. And I already went over that, I think, in the last one. You don't want to be alone, but if you don't want to be alone with you, why should somebody else want to be alone with you? Yes. Avoidance. Some people, I only want, they have been so hurt. I don't want a relationship. Oh, no, 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 no. I remember some guy said on one podcast, he said, no, it was what did he say? He said that the dating site, he was shocked that he found females over 40 who was saying they didn't want a man. He said, wait till you hit 50. Wait till you hit 60 saying that. You see, he said, I cannot believe it. But you know what? He probably didn't understand that they had been so abused and misused that some of them was like, I don't want, no, 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 no. They'll run. And that's because they was misused and treated bad, but they have never witnessed a real man, a king. Vice versa. It's men out there that say every woman she's no good. She's no good. She's a cheater. She's a whore because they seen it in their sister cheated, their mother cheated, and they treat every woman with disrespect because they don't know, they have never witnessed. They don't have the knowledge to remember what I said, that it's more than just chocolate at the ice cream store, more than chocolate flavor. They don't know, and what you don't know, hmm, can kill you. It can sabotage you or make you sabotage. The last one is repeating negative pattern. You just, I'm going to be late again. Oops, I got fired. Oh my goodness. Yes. And then you go to college and take a class. drop that one, drop that one. Oops, I'm going to drop this one. Yes, do this sound like you? If it do sound like you need to get some type of help. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a coach, oh, I can't afford to get a coach. I can't afford to do this. If you brought that Mercedes Benz, you can afford to get a coach. If you got a pocketbook that's worth more than your weekly paycheck, you can afford, go sell the pocketbook. Mm-hmm. Take that car and go and put in, go get you a Hyundai or a Honda or a Toyota used, then you can afford to get counseling. Let me tell you, even coaching. If you go and get the right person to speak in your ear, they may tell you one thing, just one thing that may change the rest of your life. I have had people tell me things, and I have went to motivational speaking webinars. I have went to it in person, and sometimes I said, "Oh my goodness, is this worth my time and energy?" And God said to me one time, "If you learn one thing out of everybody book or everybody lecture or everybody webinar, it brings you a step closer to your promised land." So don't knock it when you have the opportunity to pick somebody's brain in their mind that already have been there. That's where you want to go. Don't pick nobody mind that don't know anything and they just a dreamer and they just want to take you with them to see the Wizard of Oz. Every day they got another idea. Where you going today? I'm going to see the wizard, because they don't have no goddamn clue. Don't. Don't listen to the con artist on the corner in your neighborhood. Don't listen to the drug dealer who, if the drug dealer knew that they had skills, the best skills in selling, they can take that and become an entrepreneur legally. Watch who you listen to. Watch who's in your circle, even your secret circle, your little 2 friends that you don't tell anybody anything. Even Jesus was very careful of who he told everything to. His parables, his disciples. He didn't tell it to the masses. So with that being said, I hope you got something out of this today. Okay? Because what's going to happen is I'm going to come back and talk to you. And I want to make sure that we got everything covered. I want to thank you first. Thank you for tuning in to Self Whisper Unplugged. I need you to do something for me. Next time, I want you to come back in here and say, you know what, Miss P, I unplug, I transform, and I manifest my promised land today. Because I want you to remember this, though. If loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong.